Love this man. Festivals always attract so many people. Welcome.
Ah, you're here. It appears everyone has arrived. Last night, I visited a former servant who once worked for my family. I was able to learn the entirety of what happened all those years ago. In my great-grandfather's generation, the Ishin art was tasked with forging an important Goshinto according to an ancient forging diagram. Though all the craftsmen involved were very experienced, the process was still unsuccessful. Every blade that was forged was defective. When the deadline came, the blade still wasn't finished, so the craftsmen all fled and hid for fear of punishment. The Kaedahara clan and Yashiro Commission then conducted an investigation. My great-grandfather and the head of the Kamisato clan eventually tracked down the craftsmen near the seaside. However, they met fierce resistance from the craftsmen, and in the end they were unable to prevent them from escaping by sea. The Kaedahara clan was severely punished for the swordsmiths that had escaped, and the family gradually fell into decline. Moreover, I heard that the head of the Kamisato clan was injured by the fleeing swordsmiths, which combined with his advanced age caused him to pass away shortly.
Yes. The sudden passing of the family head left the Kamisato clan leaderless. Treacherous people took advantage of the situation and put the family's status in the Yashiro Commission. This single incident had profound effects. Even after the position as head of the clan was passed to my father, the Kamisato clan still wasn't able to regain its... But, thanks to my brother, everything is getting better now.
The failure to forge the blade was ultimately attributed to a lack of required skill and finesse. The Kaedahara clan and the Yashiro Commission always believed that was the case. However, the story of the 5 Kasen seems to imply that the failure didn't stem from a lack of skill. Miss Kamisato, I heard yesterday that the Yashiro Commission has still kept the diagram ever since the failed forging. Might I ask you to do me a favor?
Yes, I understand. I will go back and search for the diagram.
The 5 Kasen Plaza is significantly less crowded now, but it's still too early to relax.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Sarah!
Oh, it's you. Do you have something to report? It's fine, as long as it's been taken care of. This is my duty. I don't see it as an inconvenience. The Tenryou Commission has a responsibility to ensure public order and security during the Iridori Festival.
Oh, you look really busy. Has something serious happened?
Nothing serious, really. We've just received a lot of reports in the past few days over things like even troublemakers hogging the photo board. All minor incidents, but it all adds up to create a lot of work for a lot of people. Still, I take the fact that so many people are turning to us for assistance as a sign that the Tenryou Commission is gradually regaining the people's trust. The Shogun gave us orders to provide security at the Iridori Festival. This is a rare chance to change people's perception of the Tenryou Commission, so we cannot afford to slip up.
Well, no matter how busy you are, at least you still found some time to come here and buy an Almighty Shogun figurine, right? We want to buy one too!
What do you mean, figurine? I'm just patrolling these parts. In fact, I was just about to leave.
No need to be shy. Actually, Miko told us that you got up super early this one time to make sure you could be the first in line to buy one of these figurines.
That Lady Gucci, how could she disclose... Never mind. To be clear, I have no intention to hide that which I do out of reverence alone. But there is one thing you must be corrected on.
Oh? What is it?
That is not a figurine. It's a statue of Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Agosho, God of Thunder. Do I make myself clear?
Almighty Narukami Oga... got it.
This particular statue of Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Agosho, God of Thunder, is a brand new addition. There will only be 300 available in this batch, and there is a limit of 1 per customer. Many people have been lining up since well before dawn to acquire one. I'm afraid if you're only showing up now, you're probably too late.
Oh, really? So you definitely must have gotten here pretty early too then. Did you manage to get one yet?
Normally, of course, I would come to purchase one myself. But on this occasion, my duties at the Iridori Festival had to take priority. We are required to report for duty long before the shops open. It is regrettable, but I had no choice but to forego the chance this time.
Aw, what a shame.
So instead, I had someone purchase one on my behalf.
Oh, right! Wait, you can do that? Didn't you say they're limited to 1 per customer? This figurine is super popular. It must be pretty tough to find someone happy to buy one for you and not for themselves.
I anticipated the same at first, but Lady Guji Yae found a professional to assist me, saying she appreciated our tireless efforts during the festival period. I don't know who the professional is. I assume it would be either someone from the Grand Narukami Shrine or from the Yashiro Commission, but I did not ask. I am fortunate to have had Lady Guji's help this time. I likely would have struggled to find a candidate on my own. As well as being willing, they would need to be an early riser, and also tall enough to beat the crowds to the top shelf items.
Early riser and tall.
What was that sound? Really? Well, never mind. I have been here long enough. It's time for me to head to my next patrol zone.
Everyone, I've managed to find the old diagram.
Though the diagram is well preserved, you can still tell that it seems...
Whoa, that's pretty old.
At this point, we can only try our luck and see how we fare.
Although the effect is not too obvious, you can still see that some words have now started to smudge. Kazuha, this is clear evidence that this chart was indeed tampered with. Someone framed the Kaedehara clan all those years ago.
I see. But I fear that I've discovered this secret too late. When my grandfather was young, he proposed reviving the Ishin art many times to my great-grandfather. But my grandfather was only scolded for yesterday. The former family servant said that my great-grandfather even went to the Yashiro Commission to request that diagram from the head of the Kamisato clan. Sure enough, my grandfather also failed. My great-grandfather then told him, "If you can't find the secret within..." My grandfather left Inazuma in a rage after hearing those words. He didn't ever see my great-grandfather again. Looking back at it now, the argument between the two of them was simply...
Oh, God.
I heard that your great-grandfather was very industrious when he was young, but later in life, he no longer bothered with the forging arts.
Kazuha, did your great-grandfather really say, "If you can't find the secret within"?
Yes. The servant said that he personally heard those words. My grandfather was so angry at the time that he smashed my great-grandfather's cherished bonsai tree.
Yes, it appears that you understand my meaning. Kazuha, If your great-grandfather thought that the Ishin art lacked finesse, then after witnessing his son's failure, but instead he said, if you can't find the secret within, don't you find that a little strange?
Huh? So you're saying my great-grandfather may have very well known that the failure was due to someone's tampering?
Yes. The current evidence suggests that is highly likely.
I apologize, but would you all please accompany me to the Tenryou after I became a wanted criminal? The Tenryou Commission seized my family's last remaining estate, which contained all of my family's old belongings. I want to inquire about the whereabouts of those belongings.
All right.
No time to look.
What are you all doing here? Did something happen on Rito?
Kujo Sara. Perhaps you still remember me.
Yes, I do. You're Kaedehara Kazuha, a wanted criminal during the Vision Hunt decree.
Sarah, we'd like to ask about the Kaedehara clan's property that was seized by the Tenryou Commission. Do you know where all their belongings are now?
Yes, the items seized at that time are currently stored in the warehouse next to the police station. Since Kaedehara has come back to Inazuma, those items should be returned to their rightful owner.
No, I'm afraid you misunderstand. I'm not here to reclaim those belongings. I just want to investigate them for a personal matter.
I see. All right, I'll inform the police station. They'll take you into the warehouse.
Thank you, Sarah!
Kaedehara, about the Vision Hunt decree.
That's all in the past now, Kujo Sara. There's no need to mention it again. I know you've also had your own convictions. However, may I ask something of you?
Yes? What is it?
Currently, I have no plans to stay in Inazuma. As a result, those items from my family's estate are of no use to me, Madam Kujo. I believe you are a person of integrity. After our investigation is over, I'd like to ask if you can handle those belongings for me. Please, sell them, and use the money to help the poor.
All right, I understand.
Yep.
You must be here to investigate the Kaedehara clan's belongings. Madame Kujo's already informed me of the situation. The Kaedehara clan's belongings are stored in this warehouse. Unfortunately, the items are scattered throughout in order to... However, I have clearly marked the corresponding items, so I'll be waiting for you at the door. Please, come see me if you require any assistance.
Kazuha, since the items are scattered throughout the building, I propose we split up and...
Yes, sounds like a plan.
Oh, it's you. I'm currently investigating the sword...
Oh, since the Kaedehara clan was a family of renowned swordsmiths, then...
I'm afraid not. Although the sword rack is made of fine wood, the blade on the sword hasn't been sharpened, but there are many signs of use on the hilt.
Let Oh, there seems to be a couple uneven characters etched into the scabbard. Paimon can imagine what Kazuha was like as a kid.
I will continue investigating here and call you if I find anything interesting.
What did you find, Shincho?
I found quite the pile of... These books here are all related to smelting steel. And these are about the process of forging blades.
The books about plants and flowers must have belonged to Kazuha's...
I skimmed through them just now, but I didn't find anything particularly worth noting.
There must be some around here somewhere. Do you see all these pots here? Some of them are bound to have liquor inside.
Hey! Everyone else is trying hard to help, and you're over here looking for a drink?
I merely jest, of course.
Well, Paimon doesn't really get why Kazuha told Sara to sell all these belongings. What if we don't end up finding anything today? Then wouldn't Kazuha lose the chance of finding out what really happened all those years ago?
I know you are worried about Kazuha, but if you ask me, since Kazuha made such a request to Sara, that indicates he's already made his choice. No, not intuition. Rather, I've lived for a long time now. Leave the things here to me. You two can look around elsewhere.
Oh, it's you. Unfortunately, I have yet to find anything.
Whoa, this folding screen looks pretty old though.
Yes, perhaps if it were better maintained, then it could fetch a decent price. However, I doubt it could be sold in its current condition. I was taking a closer look just now and noticed a large piece of dirt caught in the fabric fibers on the back side. The soil is deeply embedded into the cloth. That means a great deal of force was used when the dirt was lodged into the cloth. Because this is not what we are looking for now. Let me think. If I wanted to leave a message behind, I would probably choose to leave it on something.
Albedo seems to be thinking pretty hard.
Everyone, I've found something that you should all have a look at. This flower pot was in my house for a long time.
Yeah, the plants seem to have been dead for a while now.
Well, after my great-grandfather stopped studying the forging arts, he picked up the hobby of keeping bonsai plants. Most of his prized plants were given to others once he became serious, but he specifically left behind this dead plant at the time. My grandfather deeply regretted that he never managed to reconcile with my great-grandfather, but now that I think about it, my great-grandfather could very well have left it behind for...
Now that you mention it, this flower pot...
Yes. Let's take a closer look.
We finally found something! Do you think someone already discovered the compartment and swapped the content?
No, I do not think that is the case here. See the paper? It's quite yellowed, which means it's very old.
You mean to say that these sheets have been written with special ink, like that which Miss Kamisato found before?
Yes, I agree with this hypothesis.
Okay, let's give it a go!
There is a pond outside the police station.
Well, how did it go? Those weren't just plain old sheets of paper, were they?
Just as everyone guessed, after I sprinkled some water onto the paper, writing did indeed begin to appear on it.
Oh? What does the letter say?
It is. I'll tell you what my great-grandfather knew at the time. Everyone?
Kaedehara, why did you lead us to this beach?
It is. In fact, my great-grandfather and the head of the Kamisato clan tracked the fleeing swordsmiths to this. Our hypothesis was correct. My great-grandfather was well aware of the truth behind the defective blades. And it was right here, where they encountered the culprit. It reads, "To whoever reads this letter, I, Kaedehara Yoshinori, have been held to a certain secret throughout my entire life. All those years ago, when I was pursuing the swordsmiths alongside Commissioner Kamisato of the Yashiro Commission, I was not injured by one of the fleeing smiths.
It was night, and after the clues led us down to shore, I waited for the culprits to show themselves. However, there were no swordsmiths in sight. This stranger claimed to be the one behind the failed forgings, and said that he had been patiently waiting for us. He then threatened to destroy the Raiden Gokaden. That person was of able body, and in a blink of an eye, myself and the accompanying samurai had been defeated. Commissioner Kamisato was severely wounded, and I barely escaped death myself. My hat had fortunately blunted a blow to my head. The unusual stranger could have easily claimed my life at that moment. But, after noticing my appearance, he stopped his attacks. I answered that it was my father's surname, and after my father disappeared, I was adopted by the Kaedehara family. Upon hearing my answer, the stranger paused. After a long silence, he suddenly said, "Tell her this. My name is Kunikuzushi." He then turned and left.
Wow. So that's what really happened.
Yes. My great-grandfather and the head of the Kamisato clan escaped from death and learned that the forging diagram had been tampered with. But however, due to the encounter, the head of the Kamisato clan was worried that my great-grandfather would be falsely accused of being involved with the perpetrator. So even on his deathbed, the master of the Kamisato clan cautioned my because the perpetrator said he would destroy the Raiden Gokaden. My great-grandfather worried that the perpetrator would still return for vengeance. So, he said, "As the leader of the Kaedehara clan, I am deeply ashamed to witness the decline of the Ishin art." Yes, that's right. If my grandpa had somehow discovered the secret behind the tampered diagram all those years ago, unfortunately, he failed to catch any of the hints. Miss Kamisato, it appears you were unaware of the happenings that my great-grandfather described.
I suppose the reason the head of the Kamisato house never spoke of this to the family, if the perpetrator was capable of tampering with even the Shogun's diagrams, and could single-handedly defeat me. I will discuss this matter with Brother shortly, and investigate the identity behind the one called...
To be honest, as I read the letter, I felt much turbulent. My great-grandfather said in the letter that he did not wish his descendants to blindly seek revenge and be deceived by things of the past. Though he was in a tight situation when he wrote these words, I think what's most important for each person is not the past, but the present. Therefore, knowing the truth behind what happened is enough for me. That being said, if the enemy from all those years ago is still lurking and plotting to stir up more trouble, then I definitely won't turn a blind eye. These are simply insights I've gathered from all that I've experienced. Thank you all for accompanying me in my search for the truth behind that incident.
Great! Now that we're done here, let's head back to Rito.
No time to lose.
Uh-oh. Sayu, what are you doing here? Shh, quiet. She might still be in earshot. No way. I've been here since last night so I could buy a figurine. But I only meant to take a short nap, a really quick one. Oh, if I don't buy one of these figurines, sheesh. Goodness knows what Miko told you. I guess my only hope now is to sacrifice my salary for this month and buy one off of someone who got here in time. Really? Great! Then, here's my salary. Festivals always attract so many people.
After cut, the first batch was smaller than I expected. Well, since I'm here now, I guess...
She'd been lining up since before sunrise, and something's
Sell it? Huh. I ain't selling. Not after all the effort I
can't believe it. I am definitely done. A whole load of people are saying they didn't manage to get one. Did the shopkeepers get the count wrong or something? Might have...
Terribly sorry. I was otherwise occupied this morning and had someone else watch the shop. So I don't know all the details, but according to our records, we did sell...
Hey, what about those ones at the back? Aren't they for sale?
I'm sorry, those are... Please don't be too disappointed. We're only selling a limited number of these statues at the festival, and this was only the first batch.
But when will the next batch be ready? Also, this poor guy came all the way from Mondstadt. He got here earlier than me and was at least 50 places ahead of me. Even he didn't get one. How do you explain these numbers?
Look, I don't know a whole lot about Inazuman festivals, but they do seem to have sold out pretty quick.
I'm terribly sorry, but I've triple-checked the sales records for this morning, and...
Why don't we get the Tenryo commission?
The Tenryo commission? No.
Sorry, who are you?
Oh, are you saying this falls under the Yashiro Commission's jurisdiction?
Yeah, it does. We will follow up on this matter, so there's no need to go to the Tenryo commission. That's weird. How come Sayu's so motivated to work all of it? Shh. If the Tenryo commission finds out about this, Kujo Sara will come ask me about it. And anyway, we can't get the Tenryo commission involved.
Well, since someone's already on the case, I suppose I'll just wait for the fine.
Since I came all this way and didn't get a figurine, I guess...
Thank you both for your understanding. We will make an announcement as soon as...
So we're supposed to be investigating, but we don't have any leads at all. You mean me? Sorry, I was asleep. Did I hear anything?
I'll take these, please.
Thank you for your patronage. Please come again.
Thank you. Huh? That's not how you count it! 16 snores should be about 1 minute. And if we add on the time for moving the boxes and... Right! Sales only started about 4 hours ago, so there's definitely a... Which means, even though I only woke up just now, well, anyway, maybe I failed my mission because a bad guy did something tricky. So then, who's the bad guy? Well, the shop was pretty strict with this promotion. Not only was there a 1 per customer limit, and with Sara's people patrolling the area, no one could have cut the line, right? If someone was up to no good, they'd definitely try to find a way to sell the figurines at a higher price. Let's go ask the guy who says...
Huh? You want to know how I got my hands on the statue? Dream on!
Huh? Why? It's not like we're trying to buy...
It's a no, okay? No more questions.
Huh? How come?
How did you know?
Huh? Oh, right.
Okay, fine. Since you guessed it anyway. But let me be clear. Don't spread this around. I came here bright and early to line up, but the first batch of statues sold out almost immediately. I wasn't to my surprise. I saw him moving boxes and boxes worth of statues out of the store. Needless to say, I was all ready to march up and demand to know what was going on. But... well, yes. But I paid the shop assistant full price for it, so it was still a legitimate transaction.
It's not for you to decide whether it was a legitimate transaction or not.
Huh? It's the Tenryo Commission?
The Tenryo Commission has received reports that someone has been hoarding goods to resell at extortionate prices. Now, these are not classed as strategic materials, so some amount of price fluctuation is expected in the market. However, it is against the law for a staff member to abuse their position to forge sales records and misappropriate goods. We have already investigated the situation at Apeikusu. The sales records are correct, but in the cash box,
But...
Please hand over your statue of Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder, as evidence.
Fine. So this guy was cooking the books. Never saw that coming.
You guys figured this out pretty quickly, Sar.
In fact, we were only just tipped off. We're still working on the logistics of the...
Thanks! I've been spotted.
Oh, you must be the professional Lady Guji hired. I was just wondering why...
We were investigating the missing figurines. Oh.
Is that so? Then thank you. The Tenryo Commission will take over from here. Rest assured, we will get to the bottom of the matter.
So, about your statue.
Really? Thank you. So, where is the statue of Her Excellency, the Almighty...
Oh, yeah. Sayu spent the whole night investigating the staff. So, by the time she got back, she was... Yeah, right. I definitely would have made it back in time to buy one, if only it hadn't been for someone stealing the statues.
I see. So in the end, you did not manage to purchase a statue, correct?
I'm sorry.
Don't blame yourself. The criminal is the one responsible here. The important thing now is to devise a plan to bring him to justice as swiftly as possible. According to the intelligence, the suspect has already started reselling the statues near the festival venue. If we confront him head-on, he's likely to destroy the evidence and dash. Since you've spent the whole night thoroughly investigating this situation, I can think of no one else more Would you be willing to help the Tenryo Commission one final time?
What? Right. Leave it to us. Today is the final stage of the Iridori Festival. Not only will there be shows...
Hello, traveler.
Albedo, why is the portrait of Kuranushi all covered up? Paimon wants to see what your Kuranushi portrait...
Don't worry. The unveiling ceremony will be starting shortly. You'll see what it looks like then. I will say that I'm most satisfied with this particular work. I even made a special trip to see someone in order to complete it. They gave me some very valuable suggestions. Is that so? Anyway, there is still time before the ceremony. You may have a look around the venue first.
Well, hello everyone.
Hey! What are you two doing together?
Is that so? I'm afraid you're just overthinking things.
We were merely discussing wine and food. I'm sure you two wouldn't be interested.
Speaking of good sides with sake, I personally prefer fried tofu.
Forget it. Even if those two are plotting something, they'd still never let us know.
All around the festival, how about you sit right here and try my inazuna snacks? Don't miss the official...
Traveler, Paimon, it's a pleasure to see you. Indeed it did. Thanks to you, the signing event went off without a hitch.
Shincho, is that just Paimon, or are you on the lookout for something?
You aren't mistaken, though I'm ashamed to admit it. But in fact, I have been on the watch for tourists. After all, I came to Inazuma under the pretext of evaluating a potential investment. If an acquaintance were to see me sitting here, then there would be no way to hide the truth from my father. Fortunately, the crowds of readers that came flocking over have kept the usual tourists at bay. Oh, I should mention, Shu is also unaware of the real purpose of my trip. Then, please accept my thanks in advance. I'm sorry that I can't chat long. There are still readers waiting in line. I'll see you later at the unveiling ceremony for Kuronushi's portrait.
Greetings, traveler. Paimon.
Oh, Ayato! We finally get to see the busiest person of all.
Yes, there were many things which required my attention these past. Fortunately, the Iridori festival is proceeding smoothly. The Tri-Commission cooperated closely to prepare this festival, so at long last,
Brother and I are very grateful for your help.
Toma sure is taking his sweet time.
Yes. Today is one of the rare occasions when Brother isn't busy. I was going to buy some books, but he said he wanted to come along. His treat. However, he forgot his wallet at home, so...
Paimon didn't think Ayato could ever be forgetful like that.
Brother always works diligently, and it's rare for him to ever put his duties to the side and relax. So, Toma and I really cherish such moments when he's forgetful.
This way. Come on. Don't be upset.
Yep.
Kazuha, what are you doing here?
I came here to take in the sea breeze. Such a bustling atmosphere is never really to... I knew, thank you. But please, don't look. See this familiar harbor in front of us? Before, you could sit here all day without seeing a single ship pass through. But now, it's become a bustling place. Not only are foreigners coming to Inazuma again, but traffic between here and Watatsumi Island has also been picking up.
Yeah, Inazuma's already started to change, huh?
I was thinking, in some ways, it might take a different amount of time for different people, but there will inevitably come a day when each person can let go of their burdens. And when they finally let go.
It's time for the portrait's unveiling ceremony. Let's head over to the 5 Kasen Plaza.
Everyone, welcome to the magnificent Iridori Festival. Today, we have ushered in the final stage of our festival, and now we will reveal the final portrait of the 5 Kasen, Kuronushi.
Paimon has no idea what Albedo's portrait looks like.
Let's all count down together. 3, 2, 1. Huh? What's this? This piece depicts nothing but... I suppose Calx must have forgotten to include the character. Let's hear some words from Calx himself regarding the...
Hello, everyone. First, I would like to say that it was an honor to be invited to create the portraits of the 5 Kasen are legendary figures from ancient Inazuma, famous for their works of poetry. I learned from existing sources about those stories that, moreover, Kuronushi lacks a dedicated chapter among the stories. Perhaps we can assume that every creator had a different understanding of Kuronushi. So, in the same way, I also wanted to leave this character to everyone. After all, the Iridori Festival is a place for everyone to experience.
Yep, that's Albedo for ya. His super logical explanation is sure to win everyone's approval. Well, it seems that our adventures at the Iridori Festival have come to a close. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, right! We still haven't figured out who left those stories of the 5 Kasen for us to find. Really? Come on then, who is it? Tell Paimon! Well, that makes sense. Otherwise, there'd be no way to give the right paper to the right person every time. Right. Even though they were using stories to hint us toward Shincho's troubles, the real goal was to lead us to Paimon gets it now. Well, let's go! We'll get to the bottom of this.
The one who left the store.
Huh? Really? Oh, Paimon thought for sure you'd be the sneaky
Because other than me, there's only one person left. The person who left behind the stories of the 5 Kasen probably chose to do so for Kaedehara's sake. After all, if they wanted to simply tell me what happened...
Yes, in fact, before doing the portrait of Kuronushi, I think my current approach to this portrait is the most correct.
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks. If you're tired of walking all around.
Are you discussing the person who left the 5 Kasen stories?
As it just so happens, one of the reasons I'm here today is to explain the details behind this wild hunt.
Huh. Paimon wants to see how you'll explain yourself out of this one.
First of all, the start of this whole incident was due to mere happenstance. You see, Lady Yai happened to catch sight of Shincho and the editor carrying the books away one night. She thought it was interesting, so she asked me to tease them a bit.
Huh? So it was Miko after all! Paimon knew it! This thing had Miko written all over it!
That's right. But using the story of the 5 Kasen to guide you to the Kaedehara family's secrets was my personal touch. As for my roundabout approach, yes, due to a certain incident that occurred earlier, I knew there was more than meets the eye regarding those papers. What Kaedehara Yoshinori said in the letter is very important for both the Kamisato clan. The Kaedehara clan used to be subordinates of the Kamisato clan. Although he has the right to know the truth, the closer he draws to things hidden out of sight, of course, I could outright tell him the truth that I had discovered. But if he lacks the ability, then he wouldn't be able to find the truth in the first place. Kaedehara Yoshinori left his message in a roundabout way precisely for this reason. For a long time, I yearned for a suitable opportunity to convey this matter.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. Yeah, it wasn't only Kazuha. You brought all of the rest of us into this plan of yours.
I figured you would ask this question eventually. I merely saw that this matter would be of value to you. And more importantly, I hoped that while Kazuha and Ayaka were looking for the answers together, reliable friends who would be willing to protect them and make measured decisions. Friends who would spare, because it is also very likely that you will face the same enemy together in the future. You already know the answer deep down inside. The answer is actually hidden in the portrait of Kuronushi. When there is no one else near the portrait, you can confirm with your own eyes. As for the means of revealing that answer, well, you have used it many times.
It's getting pretty late, so nobody else is around now. So Ayato must have been telling us to splash water on the portrait, right? It's the Balladeer! So he was the one behind the trouble all those years ago!
When there is no one else near the portrait, you can confirm with your own eyes. As for the means of revealing that answer, well, you have used it many times. Also, there's one last thing that we must discuss. I mentioned earlier that the occurrence of a certain incident made me notice the bonsai plants. It was just after the Shogun announced the abolition of the Sakoku decree. I heard that something had happened at the Tenryou Commission. They had discovered signs that someone had entered the warehouse storing the Commission's articles of evidence and confiscated I felt something unusual about that incident, so I told Kujo-Sara of the Tenryou Commission to treat it. In the meantime, I sent a member of the Shumatsuban to keep watch over the warehouse. And sure enough, someone was sneaking in.
You mean he was also looking for...
I let him search for a while, but in the end, he found nothing.
Why didn't you send someone to catch him?
The best way to protect a secret is to treat it as if it doesn't exist, is it not? Besides, the identity of this person is not hard to guess. After he left Inazuma, I carefully checked the Kaedehara clan's belongings one by one. I am certain that the papers are the secret which the infiltrator sought to find, though he couldn't confirm whether this secret existed at all. So, now on to my final question. Which part of Kaedehara Yoshinori's experiences was the secret that needed to be protected? I don't have an answer to this question at present, so I'll leave it to your future self. As for now, please, enjoy yourselves at the Iridori Festival.